Hello and welcome to the 2021 United Food Bank Agency Conference. This year's theme for agencies who were in attendance at either our Northern or Southern conference was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? My name is Chariti Stern. I am the Chief Program Officer for United Food Bank, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about United Food Bank over the years. So originally in 1983, United Food Bank was called United Food Distribution Center, and its goal was to provide food baskets to those suffering a sudden family emergency. United Food Distribution Center was formed in response to the emergency food crisis that was happening in Maricopa County. In the first 8 months of existence, United Food Distribution served 28 agencies in eastern Maricopa. In that first 8 months, they distributed a little over 500,000 pounds. Some of those agencies are still partners of United Food Bank today. Those include Mesa Salvation Army, Child Crisis, My Sister's Place, Chandler Salvation Army, St. Vincent de Paul, and Apache Junction Reach Out, which is now known as Superstition Community Food Bank. It was funded by grants. The first grant that they received was a jobs bill grant. That was through the city of Mesa, and that was $177,000 that was distributed over 2 years. The goal of that was to implement employment opportunities that really centered around gleaning and salvage of food. Because of the focus on salvaging canning products and gleaning, United Food Bank depended on the expertise of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, because at the time they were the leaders in this area. They came and trained our United Food Bank employees. In 1985, it was incorporated as a nonprofit. During that time, 2.6 million pounds were distributed, and that's when Navajo, Apache, Gila, and Pinal counties came on board. During that time, we still had a heavy focus on gleaning, which is gathering the leftover harvest. The other thing that we did during that time was provided a community vehicle for our East Valley agencies to use. In 1996, United Food Distribution became a contracted affiliate of America's Second Harvest. Today, that is known as Feeding America. They changed from America's Second Harvest to Feeding America in 2008. In 1998, Help Yourself was launched. That was also grant funded. In 1999, the name was changed formally to United Food Bank. During this time, 7.5 million pounds were distributed to 137 agencies. If you think about 7.5 million pounds to 137 agencies, we have about the same number of agencies now, and we're always distributing over 20 million pounds. So there's been some increased capacity, both at the food bank level and at the agency level. In 2001, the organization reached the threshold of 100 million total pounds distributed. In 2009, Benito and Reina, who still are on the United Food Bank team, joined the team. They provide a lot of historical knowledge, and they are senior leaders. In 2011, a few big things happened. United Food Bank moved into a new facility on Nina Drive, where we still are. It has over 44,000 square feet of warehouse space, and we engaged with Series, which is our computer program that we use to track all orders, incoming food, that sort of thing. In 2017, there was a huge shift. United Food Bank brought on new leadership. Dave, our CEO, came on board, and he started hiring other senior leaders. During this time, we distributed 23 million pounds with 176 agencies. In 2018, we started sending our agencies their TPAP, which is the Federal Commodities in bags instead of boxes. We did this for a few reasons. We wanted to take the work off the agencies. We were hearing from our agencies they did not have a lot of volunteers, and we did. We wanted to create more space on trucks, which moving from case product to binned product did. And we also wanted to ensure equitable distribution. And equitable distribution is everyone agreeing on what a serving for a family is. And the bags are all the same. So there's no question of bag versus box. And if you went to any agency, you received the same amount. In 2019, United Food Bank renovated the warehouse. We added on, I think, 3 semi spaces full in our cooler and freezer. And that really positioned us in a great place to be able to handle the bonus and mitigation that was coming and also to respond to COVID very quickly. In 2020, our big focus was COVID response. Angie Rogers, who's the president and CEO of the Arizona Food Bank Network, she said on a news article, a news segment that she was focused on, food banks are the first to show up and the last to leave. I also wanted to point out that Mayor Giles of Mesa, after we had moved into the Mesa Convention Center, said that this is the best use of Mesa Convention Center as we were distributing food there. In 2021, we distributed over 26 million pounds. So that is a quick history of United Food Bank. Okay, next up is introductions of the United Food Bank team. First up is Chris Bodner. He is new. He started in April. Prior to coming to United Food Bank, he was Vista at AZFBM. So he was very familiar with food banking and the language, and we already had a relationship with him. So he's really been able to hit the ground running. He's been with us for 6 months. Graduated from ASU, really has a passion for sustainability. He was born in Arizona and he's getting married soon. Next up is Maya. Maya is the hunger program specialist. So under her kind of purview falls kids programs and school markets. She started in May. She just graduated from ASU with a degree in nutrition education. She recently adopted a puppy named Winnie, and she has grown up in both the Carolinas and Florida. So those are our 2 newest staff members. Okay, next up, really quick, me. I'm the Chief Program Officer, Chariti Stern. People ask me what I do, and I say I try to stay ahead of everyone, removing obstacles. I determine strategy. I work with other senior leaders on kind of high-level projects, and just try to be a resource to my team. I've been at United for over 4.5 years. Next up is Benito. Benito is the Director of Operations. He's been at United for over 12 years. He's all things warehouse, right? So oversight of food orders, trucking. He keeps the warehouse in order, and he has a very, very large team that he supervises. Next up is Mark Rosso. He's been with us for over 1.5 years. He's the Food Resources Manager. That's a recent promotion for him. We're very happy. His big goal is to increase the amount of food that we're getting from our retail partners. We know that the food that our agencies get from grocery stores is very valuable, and so he's always working to increase that. And he cares a lot about the safety of receiving that food. Tori, everyone knows Tori. She is the agency and program manager. She has been with United Food Bank for almost 4.5 years. She works a lot on special programs. That can be outreach to our Native friends, Link to Feet. You're going to hear about a grant process coming soon. Just kind of whatever special is going on, she has a hand in. She knows a lot about a lot of things. She's been in a few different roles, so she's just a good resource overall for the team. Next up is Taylor. She really she's been with us for 2 years, and she has a heavy focus on federal programs. She likes policy, she likes procedures, she enjoys training around reporting. And so if you ever need some training on your reporting, likely her or Chris will be reaching out to you. Next up is Karen. Karen is the agency logistics and CSFP manager. Karen's been with us for over 4 years. She recently took on the huge challenge of integrating CSFP, which is a senior commodity food program that we recently took on from St. Mary's. So if you're participating in that, you know Karen. Karen was also a driver before she came onto the role in my team. So she is very spatial. She understands trucking. She understands time. So she's a great asset to our team as well. Next up, Angela. She's the operations coordinator. She works with DES and the Arizona Food Bank Network to schedule our orders. And so she's receiving all of the federal orders that come in. She creates a series orders. She prints orders. She balances the truck. And then next is Ted Arnett. He is a transportation manager. He is all about keeping the trucks on the road. He thinks about routing, and he makes sure that all of our trucks are up to date with maintenance, and he provides training to our staff. So overall, everyone that I've just talked about, we have over 32 years of experience in food banking all combined. So we are a resource. Please reach out to us. Okay, next up, just wanted to share a little bit about our team philosophy. So when I was first hired 4.5 years ago, the big thing that I was kind of tasked with was to move from a compliance tone to a partnership tone. So our goal is to have mutually beneficial policies and procedures. And so that plays out in a lot of different ways. That means that we know, like, you know that we're coming for an audit. You know what we're going to come look at. We're not popping in. There's no gotcha moments. Kind of within that also is a 24-hour business response. We want to respond to what your needs are. If it's that you need more food, if it's that there's an issue with limited feed, is it that something great happens? Is it that you want to know how to handle something with an agency, with a client? All of those things. We try to respond within 24 hours. It would be really, really great if we could get the same from each of your agencies. Next up is transparency. Transparency and partnership are pretty closely tied to each other. Transparency is really us being good at saying this did not go well and we are sorry and we'll do what we can to fix it. And also trying to fix issues that we're having so that there is less tension and less errors. Next up is resources. For the first time ever during COVID, United Food Bank was able to distribute $48,000 in grants. Those are $1,000 grants really given to any agency that applied. We also have served as a contact to AZFBN for their funding. There's new funding coming. Stay tuned for that. We always try to pass on supplies if we have them. We've let agencies borrow our truck. Really, whatever we have that could be useful to you, we try to provide. Lastly, innovation. So innovation is a new method, idea, or product. So the way that this comes into play is EFBs and VAPs. I talked about all the logic behind why we did that. Overall, we've tried to use a lot less paper to help out the environment. We have shifted our contracts and agency handbooks to DocuSign, which reduces paper and just makes everything a lot simpler. It emails everyone a copy after you're done. We recently had a staff member leave in late 2020, and at that time, we all sat down. What do our agencies need? What are our skills? And we reorged the team. We also have been providing online trainings. Taylor's done some around reporting. Chris did civil rights. Tori has a YouTube channel where she has a bunch of links to feed stuff, like, comment, share, all of that with that. So really leaning on technology. We also have had some interns, and we're utilizing volunteers in a different way. We had an intern, Lucas, from the Congressional Hunger Center, that we really enjoyed the work that he did for us. And then we have a volunteer that did, over 400 hours of volunteering for us. That was a game changer as far as paper and digital files for agencies. lastly, our COVID response. Taylor is going to talk about that in another slideshow, but we definitely had a lot of innovation during that time.